Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Public Expo MOOC of PT Unilever Indonesia Tbk. We are from Syndicate 6B from BLEMBA 2028. Will be your host. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Satrika Aditya. Will be your moderator for tonight's session. And then we have Pak Muhammad Yasser Arafat as President Director of Unilever Indonesia, and then Bu Indri Koryani as Director of Finance. And then Pak Agung Susilo as from Securities Analyst, and then Pak Hendrik Samuel from the Journalist. Disclaimer: this Public Expo MOOC is for academic purpose only, and then no promotion or endorsement or devalue or degrade and or make any suggestion for PT Unilever Indonesia Tbk. This is for our final exam project for business strategy and enterprise modeling from MBA ITB Jakarta. Okay, let's continue our session. I will give time to Pak Yasser Arafat as President Director from PT Unilever Indonesia Tbk to present the public expos. Pak Yasser, time is yours.
Thank you very much, Pak Wika, for our opportunity to conduct the public expos of Unilever Indonesia. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Yasser Arafat. I'm a President Director of Unilever Indonesia, and here I was accompanied by Mbak Indri Koryani as our Director of Finance from Unilever Indonesia. So thank you very much for all stakeholders who spent their time to involve in this public expo MOOC of Unilever Indonesia, and we hope that our public expos will give all the investor and all stakeholder the overview of our company's performance for the sake of your investment or your choice of consumer good in sector. So let me share our screen first to present our performance of Unilever Indonesia during the COVID-19 pandemic situation. So to begin our presentation, let me show the Indonesian economic development in the very first place, because we run our business in the fast-moving consumer good. We are depending a lot of our growth into the consumption growth, the public consumption growth, the household consumption growth, and we see that in Q1 and Q2 of 2021 is increasing. We also saw that during 2020 to 2021, about consumer confidence level is also increasing for Indonesia, but we sadly see that the recovery of the economic recovery still lag behind of other countries. So this is the performance of FMCG sector before the COVID-19 pandemic situation in 2019. The data we gather from Kantar Indonesia, we see that in the top 10 consumer perception and consumer choice of the product is varied, from Indomie to Soklin, Kapal Api, Royco, Lifebuoy, Sunlight. We saw that Unilever has 3 products that become one of the top 10 product that is trusted by the customer. Even though that we saw that we still cannot occupy the big 3 product used by the consumer, but we confident that this can be improved in the next 5 years. So the next we see that this is the performance of FMCG sector during the COVID-19 pandemic situation in 2020. There are biggest 20 product that is trusted by the customer. It is also varied from Indomie to economy detergent economy. But we also see that our product is listed in the biggest 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. seven of our product is listed in the biggest 20 product that is trusted by the consumer. We hope that this will increase also in the next year after the recovery of the economic recovery, and the pandemic situation will be more recovered in the recovery. But if we see from 1 to 20, it is about 40% of all the market is taken by Unilever Indonesia, and we're confident that we can deliver the best product to the customer. And we with our innovation and with our culture to build a good and healthy product for the customer, we believe that we will become a market leader in the FMCG sector without removing that there are a lot of competitors in this sector. Yeah, this is because we see that the FMCG is a red ocean. We believe that it is a red ocean, but we believe also that there are a lot of opportunities that we can dig from this sector with our innovation and with our culture in the company. So during the pandemic situation, there are a lot of consumer perspective in spending money is changing, and then also there are a lot of consumer option of what product that we need to spend in this pandemic situation. This is also become one of our challenge in during the COVID-19 situation. So there are 5 core strategies that we conduct to seize opportunities in this COVID-19 situation. First is strengthen and unlock the full potential of core. We see that our core product, we are a market leader of FMCG. We believe that our core product is confidence in the consumer perspective. So we try to strengthen our core business in the FMCG sector. We try to be always relevant to consumer fast-moving need, especially as caused by pandemic situation. We also try to meet consumer need in having a healthy, hygiene, and nutritious products. We also see that with this pandemic situation, the consumer purchasing power is lower, so that we try to adjust the product price. We try to offer affordable product in some channel based on consumer purchasing power and needs. Also, we try to offer home consumption product, because there are a lot of product that is needed by consumer while they are in their home lockdown. So we also develop a halal collaboration hub with global Unilever labs, because we see that Indonesia is a potential market for halal product. So this is also can become example and role model for another country. So we can say that Indonesia can become a biggest market share in the halal product. So we develop the halal collaboration hub with global Unilever lab to support Indonesia becoming the Sharia economic center. We also try to play the full portfolio. It means that we continuous innovation to capture premium segment, because consumer may see that Unilever is try to fulfill the need of middle to lower income consumer, but we also try to make another perspective that we try to enter the premium market, the premium segment, the consumer who need more in the premium product. So we also make an innovation in skincare technology, and this is very innovative, because not a lot of FMCG company that develop the segmented market, this segmented market, the technology. So we also have developed it and implement it in one of our product, triple glow bonds, and we will be expanded into another beauty product. Also, we make a culture to be the execution powerhouse. We try to strengthening and widening the digital distribution through strategic partnership. This is because we saw that there are a lot of opportunities to digitalize the marketing, and we see that become the execution powerhouse using strategic partnership with another maybe e-commerce or something, become one of the good opportunities to grab more more customer and give more easy access to the customer to our product. We also provide the delivery through unileverhomedelivery.com. Maybe you guys can try to access it, and maybe you can buy our product from unileverhomedelivery.com. So the other one is e-everything, another strategy that we use. End-to-end customer portal. We develop the portal for the customer, so they can have more end-to-end access to our product without have to go to another channel. The next presentation, I would please Mrs. Indri to continue the presentation regarding our financial performance of Unilever Indonesia. The time is yours, Miss Indri.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yasir. And I'm Indri Koryani. I'm as a Director of Finance. I will give the brief explanation about financial performance of PT Unilever Indonesia. And okay, we can start it. Well, it can be seen from the development of the graph that the net sales of PT Unilever Indonesia increased from 2016 to 2020. It because an increase in sales for several special products, as mentioned by Mr. Yasir before. And furthermore, the net operating profit and also ongoing profit of the years also increased, and the highest was in the 2018. It is because of the sales of category asset category as spreads assets, and also it's driven by various transformation effort that carry out on an ongoing basis, but through the innovation and the digitalization efforts in some operational aspects. While in 2020 there was a setback due to the COVID pandemic, which also affecting by people's purchasing power for Unilever products. So people will be cautious to choose that the needs that they want to buy. And the same things also happen to the return on equity graph. The ROE at PT Unilever also increased, and the peak also occurred in 2018. It's because of the very significant increasing in net profit. It's reaching about 30.1% from the previous year. Meanwhile, in 2019, PT Unilever Indonesia's ROE decreased in line with the decreasing in net profits, which was also caused by decreasing in other income from 3.08 billion, which was down by 18.61%. And there was an increase in marketing costs from 7.668 trillion to 8.05 trillion. and it increased again in 2020. However, in the second quarter of in the second quarter of 2021, PT Unilever managed to record the net profit for 3 trillion, although it has not reached its optimal condition because of some traits. For example, the growth of the fast-moving consumer goods, or FMCG, market has not yet fully recovered because of the COVID-19 pandemic has caused the consumers to remain cautious in choosing consumption pattern in several basic categories. And the second one is the increase in commodity prices starting to affect the product costs. Therefore, I will give the summary of the strategies that used by Unilever Indonesia. The first one is encouraging the market growth through stimulating consumer consumption. And the second one is expanding and enriching the portfolio into value and premium segments. And the last one is strengthening leadership in innovation and the future channels. Thank you very much. That's enough from me. And I will be back to Mr. Satwika as the moderator tonight.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yasser and Ms. Indri for the presentation of Unilever Indonesia Public Expos. And then I will invite Mr. Agung Susilo from the Securities Analyst to ask a question to PT Unilever Indonesia. Mr. Agung, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Satwika, and thank you, Mr. Yasser and Ms. Indri for the presentation of the performance of Unilever. Maybe the first one I will ask about two questions. I want to ask about the performance the Unilever during pandemic, and then the second one is my question is about the strategy in the future. As we know, the pandemic COVID-19 has impact to the financial performance, and how you plan to your investor to keep the performance of financial still above the about the current year. So as we know, many challenges from the COVID will impact the financial performance, which, as you mentioned earlier, about the performance consumption index, consumer index, and then also about the sales. And the second one is I want to ask about the strategy that you mentioned about you will enrich the portfolio to the premium. What exactly the plan you want to do? Will you create another brand or create some product, or just maybe you want some create new channeling, such as maybe from offline to online store, or maybe you can explain more about that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Agung. Pak Yasser and Bu Indri, you may answer the questions.
Thank you very much, Pak Agung, for the question. So we know that the pandemic situation has lowering the purchasing power of several societies, and it is also, of course, affecting our financial performance. But we have strategy that we have mentioned before in creating an affordable product. It means that let's make the example of Bango product. We have 200 milliliter of Bango product, Bango ketchup Bango, and maybe it can be afforded by 10,000 rupiah. So we make another variety of the bango ketchup bango with only 100 milliliter of ketchup. And we can sell it less pricey. Maybe we can charge it only for 500 rupiah. That's one of our strategy to boost our financial performance through sales. Mbak Indri, if you have data or another strategy that I not mentioned in my answer, please you can add the answer. So for the second question about premium product, yes, we can use not only offline or offline store, but we can use both offline and online store. This is because our strategy to digitalize the marketing is not only depend on offline, but also we strengthen our offline channeling, online channeling. So the premium products that we develop is the example is we just mentioned it, developing a beauty skincare technology. Of course, using a technology, comprehensive technology in the skincare premium products is more pricey than if we buy raw products to make the beauty product, skincare product. But we develop it internally, and we
1 more minute, Mr. Yasir.
Yeah, that's all for the premium product that we develop. Mbak Indri, if you have things that you can mention, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yasir. And I will only add some statement. Well, it can't be denied that the COVID-19 pandemic is a big hit for every segment of companies. It's also impact on Unilever, PT Unilever Indonesia. But we can manage get net profit every year, and we can defend our dividend that share to the investor. That's for the first question. And the second question about expanding and enriching the portfolio into value and premium segments, that has already also mentioned by Mr. Yasir. And also that have already mentioned by you, Mr. Agung Susilo. So one of the strengthen for PT Unilever Indonesia is about innovation, and we do some innovation in our products to be in the value and premium segment, but it's also plan to affordable for the citizens. So every layer of the citizen can reach our products. That's one of our strategy, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Indri. And also we have our media friends here, and we have Pak Hendrik Samuel Haseolan as journalist from the media. Maybe if you have any question to our President Director and Director of Finance, time is yours, Pak Hendrik.
Yes, thank you, Pak Satwika. Hello, Bapak Ibu. My name is Hendrik Samuel. I'm a journalist from Business Today. So basically, we have several questions from our community, investor of Unilever. So the first question is about the business strategy of innovation from Unilever. So as we know that from your explanation about the strategy, a lot of people appreciate and agree about the strategy by the Unilever. But the question is, your strategy tends to be like incremental innovation rather than radical innovation, or maybe you can say that the innovation from Unilever Indonesia during this pandemic is more to exploit the business model, the current business model, rather than to explore a new business or market opportunities. As we know that Unilever is very well known as an innovation culture and a very good corporate company. So a lot of people argue in an investor perception, a big corporate like Unilever should be to more focus on explore the radical innovation during this pandemic. Let's say I take an example in January 2021. We can Google it in news that during that time, the Indonesian government from Ministry of Health, Bapak Budi Saikin, considering to take Unilever as a business partner to distribute 1.2 billion of vaccine, Sinovac, to distribute to other areas in Indonesia, and they want to use Unilever as a distribution strategy. Of course, we know that this is very interesting because Unilever is it's not a pharmaceutical company or distribution company, but at the time, government choose Unilever because Unilever has a strong leadership in supply chain and also in facilitate in storage, cold storage distribution. So we know that this is doesn't happen during the day. Government take another mechanism to distribute the vaccine, but we know that there's a possibility for Unilever Indonesia to explore other business opportunity to the competition during this pandemic. So in your opinion, Pak Yasser and Bu Indri, why Unilever tends to promote or focus on current business model innovation rather than to try to explore a new business opportunity, maybe in a merger and acquisition beside food and beverage sector? So this is the question a lot of investors asking this question to our office. Thank you, Pak Saprika.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hendrik. Pak Yasser, Bu Indri, you may answer the question.
Bu Indri, do you have any opinion about this? Or I have
about the vaccine, Sinovac vaccine distribution. We have a cooperation with the government because we know that PT Unilever Indonesia has already spread even in the remote area of Indonesia. So it will help the government to distribute the vaccine easily, I think. Thank you very much. It's about the vaccine and about the strategies why we stay in the current of model business, because we know that it's about these 2 years we get the COVID pandemic, so I think every condition is not normal, so we prefer to in the same strategy because we don't want to take another risk that we can't mitigate before. Thank you, and that's from me. And maybe Pak Yasser wants to add some statement about the strategies and the cooperation. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true that what Mbak Indri say, that we have to try to adjust our performance during the shifting from pre-pandemic to pandemic situation. That's why we try to readjust our strategy in improving our core business during the pandemic situation, during the shifting. But we also we were help government try to cooperate with us about the vaccine and maybe regarding why we not try to enter the vaccine business, because we saw that the product itself is highly regulated. First is highly regulated. Second, of course, the developer of the vaccine itself are companies who have strong track record in making and having laboratorium to develop medicine or pharmaceutical industry, and we only have labs in developing FMCG. That's why from the investment perspective, we cannot see that the vaccine itself can boost our financial performance, and also from we can say that the vaccine business maybe can last only when the pandemic is going on, and when all people has been vaccinated from the business perspective. I'm not sure that it is profitable in the long run. So that's why we try to only strengthen our core business in the FMCG from pre-pandemic, pandemic situation to the post-pandemic situation. Maybe that's what we can deliver to answer Pak Hendrik from journalist. Thank you, but thank you very much for the input to our company innovation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Bu Indri and Pak Yasser. Hopefully the answer from the President Director and Director of Finance can answer your question, Pak Hendrik. I think that's a strong argument and reason why the distribution of vaccine is not really cannot give additional financial boost up to Unilever Indonesia. Okay, that's all from our public expose mock for today's session. Thank you for your attention.